Good day, my name is Naresh Birju and I am a science teacher. I would first like to thank TTT and NALIS for partnering with the Ministry of Education in producing this educational resource program. I would like to urge you to visit the School Learning Management System, SLMS, where you can log on to learn.moe.gov.tt, where you can get additional resource material for all your subject areas. Today, we are going to do an integrated science lesson at the Form 1 level. It's entitled Atoms, Elements, and Molecules. The learning outcome is 1.9.4, distinguish among atoms, elements, and molecules. What is an atom? An atom is the smallest particle of an element. Atoms are extremely small and can only be seen with the most powerful microscopes. Everything that exists in the universe, matter, is made up of atoms. What makes up an atom? An atom is made up of even smaller particles called subatomic particles. These subatomic particles are protons, neutrons, and electrons. Your protons and your neutrons are in a region called the nucleus within the atom, and your electrons, they orbit around your nucleus. You will learn more about the structure of the atom in the next topic. What are elements? An element is a substance that consists of a single type of atom. An element is a pure substance. It cannot be broken down into a simpler substance by physical or chemical means. Some examples of elements. The element copper is made up of only copper atoms. So you have copper. You can see here it's copper coins, like your 5-cent piece, and it's only made up of copper atoms. Another example, aluminum. The aluminum element is made up of aluminum atoms, as we can see here. Now, you would be seeing two different spelling for the word aluminum. This here is the American spelling, whereas this here with the I is the British spelling. Both are correct. Another example is gold, of which your jewelry is made up of. The element gold is made up of only gold atoms. As we can see here, jewelry made of gold, only gold atoms. Another example, carbon. Carbon, the element carbon is made up of only carbon atoms. Each element has its own unique set of properties. For example, melting point. And as we can see in the picture here, you have cobalt, all cobalt atoms. It melts at 1,495 degrees Celsius. Iron, only iron atoms, melts at 1,535 degrees Celsius. Nickel only contains nickel atoms, and it melts at 1,455 degrees Celsius. What is a molecule? A molecule is made up of two or more atoms of the same element or of different elements chemically combined together. Some molecules can be very large if there are many atoms chemically bonded together. Examples of molecules: hydrogen gas consists of two hydrogen atoms held together by a chemical bond, and this here is a molecule. Now remember, we said the molecule could consist of atoms of the same elements. You have here two hydrogen atoms coming together to form your molecule. Water. Water consists of two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom, H2O. Now, if you remember, your molecules consist of two or more atoms of different elements. So water here contains two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. You have one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms, and this is your water molecule. What is a compound? A compound is composed of two or more elements chemically combined. A compound always has different elements, whereas a molecule could have the same elements. A compound only has different elements. Compounds have different properties from the elements of which they are made. Examples of compounds. Can you recognize this compound? You have two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. Yes, this compound is water. Another example, you have carbon and two oxygen atoms. Can you recognize it? Yes, this compound is carbon dioxide. Let's see how well you remember what we have done already. Name the atoms that make up the following elements: carbon, chlorine, and magnesium. Now you have to remember your definition of your atoms, your definition of your elements. So the answers are: for carbon, only carbon atoms. Chlorine consists of only chlorine atoms. And your magnesium consists only of magnesium atoms. Name the atoms that make up the following molecules: your chlorine Cl2 molecule, carbon dioxide or CO2 molecule, your carbon monoxide or CO molecule, your hydrogen chloride or HCl molecule, and your oxygen or O2 molecule. So now let's look at the answers. A chlorine molecule contains two chlorine atoms. If you remember your definition for a molecule, you could have atoms of the same elements. Carbon dioxide molecule consists of one carbon atom and two oxygen atoms. Again, you can have a molecule having atoms of different elements. Carbon monoxide molecule, one carbon atom and one oxygen atom. Here again, you have atoms of two different elements. Hydrogen chloride molecule, one hydrogen atom and one chlorine atom. Here, again, you have atoms of two different elements, namely hydrogen and chlorine. And your oxygen molecule has two oxygen atoms, atoms again of the same element, oxygen. Let's now look at another exercise to see how well you remember. The table in the next slide has statements listed. Place a tick in the column to which the statement corresponds. You can tick more than one column for a statement. So our table consists of statements, and then you have various categories, your atoms, your element, your molecule, and your compound. So your first statement, it is made up of two or more atoms. So you have to choose either one, or it could be more than one from these columns. Second statement, elements are made up of. Third statement, it is the smallest particle of an element. Fourth statement, it is made up of atoms of two or more of the same elements. Fifth statement, oxygen gas is a. And then the last statement, it is made up of two or more atoms of different elements. So let me give you a little bit of time to get your answers in. And now we would look at the answers. So, your first statement, it is made up of two or more atoms. Elements, if you recall, elements are made up of the same types of atoms. So it could be that. A molecule is made up of two or more atoms, either from the same elements or different elements. So two or more atoms, so it could be a molecule. And then you have your compound, where your compound is made up of atoms, two or more atoms, bonded together, but different elements. So it is made up of two or more atoms. It could be element, it could be a molecule, and it could be a compound. Elements are made up of atoms, the same type of atoms. It is the smallest particle of an element. That is the definition for an element. So it is atoms. It is made up of atoms of two or more of the same element, and only a molecule has two or more of the same elements. Oxygen gas is a molecule because you have O2, so you have two oxygen atoms, same element, and it is made up of two or more atoms of different elements. So it could be a molecule because they could be made up of atoms of different elements, and definitely a compound because a compound is made up of two or more atoms of different elements. Now we would go on to an exercise to build elements, compounds, and molecules. We would be building, the materials to be used would be ball and stick models. So let's build models of the following: the elements oxygen, chlorine, and nitrogen. Secondly, we'll do a molecule of water, and thirdly, a compound, carbon dioxide. So now let's get on with our activity. So let's build our hydrogen molecule. Our hydrogen molecule consists of two hydrogen atoms, represented here by your white balls, and they're held together by one bond. So here is your hydrogen molecule. Your oxygen molecule is 2 oxygen atoms held together by 2 bonds. Your nitrogen molecule consists of 2 nitrogen atoms held together by 3 bonds. 1, 2, 3. So your water molecule consists of 2 hydrogen atoms, represented here by your white balls, and 1 oxygen atom, represented here by your red ball. Each hydrogen atom is bonded to your oxygen atom with 1 bond. So you have 1 hydrogen bonded to your oxygen with one bond. The other hydrogen is bonded to your oxygen with 1 bond. Your carbon dioxide molecule consists of 1 carbon atom, represented here by your black ball, and 2 oxygen atom, represented by your red balls. Each oxygen atom is bonded to your carbon atom with 2 bonds. So 1 oxygen bonded to your carbon atom, 1 bond each. Your other oxygen bonded to your carbon atom, and you have 2 bonds here. So this here is your hydrogen molecule, your oxygen molecule, your nitrogen molecule, your water molecule, and your carbon dioxide. Now, at home, you can do this same activity using your plasticine. So you can use plasticine. You can make balls out of your plasticines, and you can use a toothpick. And here you have each hydrogen bonded by 1 bond to each other. So here you have your hydrogen molecule, which resembles the one that I made from your model kit. So there are activities that you can do at home, but you must be supervised by an adult. Just as I showed you just now, you can use plasticine, Play-Doh, or dough made from flour and water and colored with food coloring to make models of your own. So you can make the element oxygen consisting of 2 atoms, or you can make a molecule of water consisting of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen, or you can make the compound carbon dioxide, which consists of carbon, 1 carbon and 2 oxygen atoms. So as I showed you, you can use plasticine toothpick, for example, and you can make these models. In preparation of this lesson, I would have used these websites to obtain information. You can use these websites to obtain any additional information that you may need. Remember, science is fun. Thank you.